Hi, hello. Today I have a uh, Mickey Mouse shirt on, and so I would like to talk a little bit more about animation. And if you look up golden age of animation, you're, well, at least in the United States, you'll see all the old companies like Fleischer Studios, Warner Brothers, Disney, uh, Universal, which had Woody Woodpecker, and the MGM, well known for Tom and Jerry. There was a bunch of others, animation titles, of course, but uh, those were probably the most popular ones. Fleischer Studios had very early on, I forget what years, but they did Superman. I guess what you would call serial films. Um, and I think Fleischer Studios is one of the first uh, animation studios that used actors doing variety of things, and then the animators would trace the movements. Although, to be fair, I don't think you necessarily notice that they're traced movements because the characters still look like the animated characters. So they did an amazing job, um, and I think it was a really great era for animation. Uh, One of my favorite directors, I don't remember how long ago he started, but he went far into um, uh, active in the 60s and even 70s, I think. But probably a very classic animated short would be something with Droopy chasing the wolf, and there's all these sequences where the wolf ends up in a nightclub, and for me that's one of the best animation direction uh, examples because you see all this crazy movement and activity, and then there's a real stillness, moment of quiet where he's sitting down. The wolf is kind of looking around, seeing if he's still being chased, and all of a sudden notices on the stage that there's a beautiful woman singing, and that's like the classic moment where he drops his jaw, and you see the tongue roll out. Which if you're familiar with the movie The Mask, they try to recreate that scene. Although, in my opinion, they messed it up because they added all these other extra, uh, like hyper movements and activities that killed the drama. For me, the the gorgeousness of that animation direction is the complete stillness and almost no motion, and then all of a sudden an explosion of movement and exaggerated stuff that gives the moment drama. Um, and I think, in general, for my taste, the difference between American animation direction and Japanese animation direction is that the Japanese consider animation art. And I think in America it's mostly about what's going to give them some sort of a profit or return on their investment, which is difficult. But then you end up with the weird stock movements and this strange pantomime of characters doing the weirdest things.